Dear students, I am very happy to see you again through this class. Today we are going to see the remaining topics of our first lesson, nutrition in plants. Let me summarize the previous topics. In our previous class, we saw about the plant nutrition and photosynthesis. As like other organisms, plant also need food for their survival. Hence, it needs food to get the nutrients. So, the process of getting nutrients is called nutrition. Based on the mode of nutrition, the plants are classified into two types. One is autotrophs and another one is heterotrophs. Autotrophs are the organisms which can make their food. For example, unicellular algae, bacteria and most plants. Heterotrophs are the organisms which will get the food from their surroundings. For example, all the animals, fungi, microorganisms and few plants. Next one is the photosynthesis. Simply, it is the process of making food in the leaves of plants. In this process, light energy is converted into the chemical energy. Water and carbon dioxide combine to form sugar and oxygen in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Leaves are very thin and flat in structure in which the photosynthesis occurs. It enables the sun rays to penetrate easily. There is a tiny structure called chloroplast which has a green pigment called chlorophyll which traps the energy in sunlight and uses it to make food. Some plants do not appear in green color, also have chlorophyll, but it is masked by a pigment of different color. Leaves has a tiny pores called stomata in which the air enters. Water is absorbed by the roots which contains a network of tubes called xylem. Then through the xylem, water is transported to the leaves and other parts of the plants. Food prepared in the leaves are transported to all the parts of plants through another network of tubes called phloem. Simply, the xylem transports water and the phloem transports food to other parts of plants. Finally, the oxygen released by the plants will mix us with the air. Then the sugar is converted into starch and stored in various parts of the plants. Hope you recalled and remembered the topics. Now we will see the remaining topics. Synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrates. In our previous class, we saw that plant can synthesize their own food through the process called photosynthesis. In that process, plant prepare the food in the form of starch and sugar. These both are the carbohydrates. Other than the carbohydrates, plant need proteins. As it cannot synthesize the proteins, it needs some nitrogenous substances. Let's see how the soil fixes the nitrogenous substances in it. Let's see, plants need nitrogen. Nitrogen is naturally present in the atmospheric air, but the plants cannot use it directly. So, the rhizobium is a bacteria which is present in the root nodules of leguminous plants, fixes the atmospheric nitrogen into soil. This bacterium converts the nitrogen into simple nitrogenous substances. This process is called as nitrogen fixation. After the death and decay of such plants, the nitrogenous substances mixes with the soil and other plants will utilize it. Next one is the replenishing of nutrients in the soil. It is nothing but a refilling the nutrients in soil. Mostly in a field, if we cultivate any kind of crops, it will utilize the nutrients which is present in the soil. For that, we have to add some manure and chemical fertilizers to boost up the fertility of soils. Manure is nothing but a decomposed plant and animal waste. After the death of plant and animal, it starts to decay and it is rich in nutrients. And next one is the chemical fertilizers, for example urea. After the cultivation and harvesting of crops, farmers mostly will cultivate the plants like bean, peas and grams. These are the leguminous plants which contains rhizobium, which fixes the atmospheric nitrogen into soil. This process is called rotation of crops or crop rotation. Due to this cyclic process, it enhances the fertility of soil and also it refills the nutrients in the soil. The next main topic we are going to see is other modes of nutrition in plants. In this topic, we are going to see how the plants will depend on other plants for their food. In that, the first category is parasitic plants. These are the plants which depends on other plants for food and water, on which the parasitic plants grows are called host plants. Next one is types of parasitic plants. There are two types of parasitic plants. In that, the first one is total parasitic and the second one is partial parasitic. Total parasitic plants is nothing but the parasitic plants depends completely on the host plants for their foods. For example, Cuscuta. Cuscuta will kill the host plant. Next one is a partial parasitic plant. It depends only for water and certain nutrients. For example, mistletoe. It grows on mango and teak. The next category is insectivorous plants. It grows normally in the soil. Due to insufficient amount of minerals, it traps and feeds the insects which will sit on it. For example, Venus flytrap and pitcher plant. Next category is the saprophytes. Saprophytes are the organisms which obtain nutrition from decaying organic matter. For example, Monotropa. Monotropa are the saprophytic plants. Next one is fungi. Fungi are also the saprophytic plant which grows on various kinds of organic material. For example, mushroom. The next topic is how do saprophytes obtain nutrition. Let's see how do saprophytes obtain nutrition. Saprophytes normally grows on the dead and decaying organic matter. Then it secretes digestive juices. With the help of digestive juices, it breaks down the organic matter into simple substances and convert into solution. Then finally, it absorbs the solution and get nutrition. The final topic we are going to see is how do lichens share nutrients and water. Mostly the lichens are composed of two distinct organisms. One is a kind of fungus and the second one is algae. Algae contains chlorophyll, hence it can prepare the food through the process called photosynthesis, and this algae shares the food to the fungus. And then the fungus is a non-green plant which provide water and minerals to algae. So, lichens is an association of both fungus and algae. Hence it is called as symbionts. The phenomenon of mutual benefit which is shared is called symbiosis. Thank you, my dear students. I hope you have understood this lesson. Have a happy learning.